Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Monday. We are on day 21 of distant learning. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. I'm super excited to be back with you this week and very much so looking forward to our Wednesday Zoom meeting. All right, so this is just a reminder that there's an optional science lesson towards the end of this video, okay? Now let's get to reading. So today, you are going to be completing 30 minutes reading the story of your choice. Now, if you are using Get Epic, wonderful. My only request is you must be reading the story. Do not choose stories that read to you. Do that in your spare time, the rest of your day, however you want. But 30 minutes reading, actually reading a story of your choice is what is needed for today. Okay, and then with me, we're going to be reviewing text evidence, okay? So to get started on that, there are two ways to use text evidence: explicitly and making inferences, okay? Go ahead and turn to the Monday page in your packet. I'm going to explain that, but I want for you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to read the top of the Monday page, and once you read that second bubble, stop reading and play the video with me, okay? So go ahead and pause to read the top. Once you hit that second bubble, stop reading and hit play. All right, welcome back. So, explicit. Explicit means clearly or obviously, okay? It's when you can point to a sentence in a story that explicitly states or clearly or obviously states the answer to a question. For example, again, I use this example all the time, the Three Little Pigs. How did the wolf destroy the two houses and the Three Little Pigs? How do we know how he destroyed the houses? Well, if we have the book and we're open and we're reading that story, I could point to the sentence that says, he huffed and puffed and blew the house down. That's explicit evidence. That sentence right there tells me point blank clearly and obviously that he blew the house down. Okay, that's explicit. It states the answer. It's boom, right there. He huffs, he puffs, he blows the house down. That is how the wolf destroyed the house, the two houses. Okay, that text is explicit because it clearly tells us exactly what the wolf did to destroy the two houses. Okay, that's explicit. Now, inference. We've gone over this before. Inference is where you suggest or conclude. It's when you use text evidence to help you understand what is not explicitly stated in the text. So, using the same example of the Three Little Pigs, we know from the story that the third pig took its time to build a strong house out of brick. Now, what can we infer about the pig? Well, the story never says that the pig is smart, but we can infer that the third pig is smart based on the evidence the text told us. The text told us that he took his time. He built a strong house out of brick. The wolf couldn't blow it down. That's a smart pig. The story never told me he's smart, but I can think that he's smart based on the evidence in the story, okay? So again, we can infer that the pig is smart based on the evidence in the text, not because the text just tells me, hey, yeah, that pig is smart. It gives us examples and supports why we may think that he is smart, okay? So today, you will be using text evidence in both ways, explicitly and making inferences, to answer some questions about a story that I will be reading to you. What that means is you are going to use examples and details from the text to help answer 3 questions about the text, okay? And those 3 questions are, why is the race called the, I should have looked at this before I read it out loud, Iditarod. Why is the race called Iditarod? Support your answers with text evidence. So what that means is you are going to explain why the race is called what it is using sentences from the text. Okay? That's your text evidence. Those are explicit answers as to why the race is called what it is called. Okay? Next question. Based on the text, what are 3 reasons why the Iditarod is a one-of-a-kind race? Now, this is going to be where you make inferences. How do I know this? Because this question starts off by saying, based on the text. So, with the stuff that the text tells you, how can you infer 3 reasons that this is a one-of-a-kind race? Third question. Write a question that could be answered after reading this text. This is a question that we often struggle with. All it is saying is make up a question. That's what I want you to do. I want you to simply make up a question that if I go back and I read that story, I can answer it. Okay, so you are creating your own question. Create a question to throw on a test for me. All right, that's it. Don't think too hard about it, but I have to be able to get the answer from the text. Okay, create your own question. Now, here's the story. The race across Alaska. The Iditarod race is one of a kind. Teams come from all over the world to participate in this legendary race. It is more than 1,000 miles long, and it is run in bitterly cold weather across ice and snow. It takes at least 9 days to finish, and the real stars of the race are dogs. The first Iditarod race was run in 1973. It got its name from the Iditarod Trail, an old mail road in Alaska. Long before there were telegraphs or phones, people used dogs to pull sleds that carried mail and supplies across the long trail. The people who drove the sleds were called mushers. In the race, mushers used teams of 12 to 16 dogs to pull sleds. The sleds are very light, and the mushers do not carry anything that they may not need. The lighter the sled, the faster the dogs can go. The dogs that run this race are amazingly strong. One dog can pull nearly 1,000 pounds. They are also swift. They can cover 8 to 12 miles in 1 hour. Mushers take good care of their dogs. They make sure that the dogs get plenty of food. They put booties on the dogs to keep splinters of ice from cutting their paws. The Iditarod Trail goes through cities and towns. The dog teams climb mountains. They race on frozen rivers, and they run through deep drifts of snow. After the race, it is time for the mushers and dogs to rest. What a great story. All right, so remember, you are to go back and answer those 3 questions, and I'm going to post those questions along with this post, okay? Now, the remainder of this lesson is for science. So if you can, turn to the Monday page in your science part of the packet. You will see it says Monday, day 1 in the top left-hand corner. And you will see a picture of what looks like a palm tree on a beach and a leaf. All right? Just kidding. First things first, you need to cut out the pages on page 5. All right, so go ahead and cut out the pages on page 5. Pause the video once you do that. Turn back to the Monday page and be with us. All right. Go ahead, pause. Give yourself some time to do that. And play. Welcome back. All right, so again, we're looking at the picture of the palm tree on the beach and the picture of the leaf. And it says, look at the picture and read the passage. So we're looking at the pictures and reading. A group of friends are enjoying a day at the beach and the amazing view before them. As they admire the palm tree and its large leaves, which are also called fronds, the students wonder what leaves do for a plant. Here is what they said. Rob, I think leaves provide shade for the roots. Meg, I think leaves provide support for the plant. Pam, I think leaves are where food is made in the plant. And James, I think leaves are where water is absorbed into the plant. The question says, which of the friends do you believe is correct? Explain your reasoning. So we have a question. We have to decide who do we agree with, and then we must explain why we agree with them. Keyword, explain. Explain why you agree with them. Why do you agree with whoever you chose? All right, pause the video to answer that question, and welcome back. So, the activity. It says plant function matching activity. So the directions are to cut out the supplied pictures of the plants and parts, which you already did, and use your knowledge to think about each plant part and the job it does to help the plant survive. Keep these plant parts and function cards in a safe place to use this week in science. So keep those cuttings because you will use them again. All right. So we've got 3 questions to look at here. It says, how does a plant get food? How are more plants made? And how does a plant get water? So, go ahead, pause the video, take your time to answer those questions. Now listen, this is day 1. I don't expect you to know the answers, so give me your best guess, all right? And for your exit slip today, you are to tell me what are the functions of the roots of a plant. You know, those stemmy things that are under the ground.